this is a game, this is a card, Return of the King. On one hand, it's like, hey, it's worth marshalling points. That's cool. How do you play this card? Unique. Aragorn only. So, alright, we gotta have Aragorn in play. Got it. Unique. I can play one in my deck. Got it. Only playable in Minas Tirith, and only if Denethor II is not in play. Okay, so if you have gotten to Minas Tirith with Aragorn, and you have gotten rid of Denethor, or just made sure no one else played him, then there's no steward, and Aragorn can take the throne back. So literally, your part of this deck is to get Aragorn to Minas Tirith so he can become king again. Once you do that, you play it on him, and he gets all the benefits of being king. He gets +3 influence, so that way he can control characters better. He can be cooler. It's King Aragorn. It's pretty dope. On the same summary, there's other little plots from the game that you can kind of go through. So, like, here's the sapling of the white tree. This is something that's not as big in the movies, but it's really big in the book, is that there is this white tree of Gondor, and it's, like, the most important symbol of the entire, like, lineage of humanity. And if the white tree falls, then it's emblematic that humanity has fallen and humanity is worthless, right? And so, in this game, in the books, like, the tree is slowly dying and, like, the leaves are falling, like Beauty and the Beast, like, oh, do. Like, the leaves are falling and it's dramatic, and Pippin's like, what's that, Gandalf? And he talks all about it, right? Well, at the end, they plant a sapling of the white tree, and a new one blooms, and it's all about how it's this new life when Aragorn returns as the king. Hey, buddy. No problem. My dog, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so you get this card, and it's a major item. So you play at any of those locations, it's a major item. It says it's not playable in a shadow hold or a dark hold, so any, like, evil city, you can't find it. And so you get this item. It's worth 1 point if you're just walking around with it. And your items can also be stored at locations. Typically, you store them at havens, but you could store this at Minas Tirith. And if you do, it's worth more marshalling points, because you're planting it in the place that was planted in the book, the place that's important to be planted. I'm like, okay, cool. So it has, like, a bonus if you do the right thing. But then, there's one more thing you could do if you wanted to build your deck this way. You could play the White Tree. Now, the White Tree is a permanent event. So, once again, you play it on top of something. And you have to have a sage, so an intelligent character, at Minas Tirith. And only if the sapling of the White Tree is already there. If you do, boom, you now have another 5 marshalling points. So 2 from the sapling, 5 from the tree. So you have 7. That's over a quarter of the way there. If you have Aragorn, that's 10. With Return of the King, that's another 5. So you're like, boom, get this tree, get Aragorn, you're making the king. Your deck's rocking and rolling, right? It also turns Minas Tirith into a haven. So instead of bad stuff possibly happening at Minas Tirith, it's now safe. And you can heal characters there, and fewer hazards can be played on you. And so it's just kind of cool. And so maybe you don't want Aragorn to be king. Maybe you want other characters to fix Minas Tirith. Maybe you want the Riders of Rohan to be the ones to take it. So maybe instead of worrying about Return of the King, you just have Theoden find the sapling of the White Tree and take it back to Minas Tirith. And that's the whole game you want to play, is that, like, Theoden's the hero.